one amazing series of YA novels, an insatiable thirst to relive the glory that is K.A. Applegate's literary masterpiece. This is Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. TV series, episode 3 and 4.
Hello and welcome to the Dork-Bajir Chronicles, a Animorphs podcast where we read through the Animorphs series one book at a time, then talk about it every week, except for this week and the previous week and the next 2 weeks, where we'll be talking about the TV series.
Hell yeah.
Last week we talked about episodes 1 and 2, so this week we'll be talking about the last and second last episode. No, I'm just kidding. We'll be talking about episode 3 and 4. My name is Mikhail, the host.
I'm Tessa, the expert.
And I'm Braden, also the expert now.
And we are once again joined by Jared.
How's it going, everybody?
Pretty good.
Better
Glad
now
to be
that you're
back.
Here.
Wow. These two were so much better than the last ones.
These
You
two
know what?
episodes?
Yeah.
You know what? With all the talk of competition for the expert spot on the podcast, I didn't realize that there was actually competition for the newbie spot as well.
Oh,
Dun, dun.
dang.
Watch out, Braden.
Jared has not read the books, to be clear.
Not even a little.
Yeah, which means you would perfectly slot in to the newbie spot.
Are you guys
Oh,
just...
shit.
Is
Oh,
that our new
shit.
bit? We just, get rid of the newbie every episode? We should you know what? We should switch it out every half an episode. Somebody comes in, slits the newbie's throat, and then puts another person in the chair. Talk about
And you don't
Animorphs!
know-
I haven't
You
read
know
Animorphs!
when it's gonna
I
happen.
don't know what Animorphs are.
What's an Animorph?
You kidnapped me from the weird internet cafe at the mall where I was playing video games.
Where the desktop monitors are inset into tables?
And apparently all run on coins.
Yeah, which is how's that even physically possible?
We don't start with that yet. Episode 3 is Marco being paranoid, walking down the street.
Braden's going to do the recap for this one, and then Tessa will do it for episode 4.
Yeah. So we open up with Marco going over to Jake's place. He knocks on the door and is jump scared by Tom.
Who looks like the biggest douchebag
Jake's
in the world.
34-year-old brother.
I was wondering this. I'm like, how the fuck old is Tom?
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be in high school?
He goes upstairs and they
Yes,
try to pop this alien info format, the disc from episodes 1 and 2, into their Earth computer, and specifically says it worked in Independence Day.
but they had Will Smith.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work, and they specify, and it seems like it actually breaks their computer. But then,
Well, and then Tom bursts in
Yeah.
being a creepy motherfucker. What are you kids doing?
what are you kids doing? Jerking each other off? Can I join?
Oh, sorry, I was hoping you'd be naked. Sorry.
And
Like, go
Rachel's
away.
just oh, sorry, no, we just hanging out. What did she say?
Marco showed us a funny GIF.
No, she said just cracking up. Marco finally said something funny. It's wow, nice way to take a punch at Marco, who did.
Ouch.
Well,
a
I mean,
lot to
Marco
deserve
fucking
it.
sucks, so
He still has that
I don't
haircut.
care.
It still hurts. I know you've only seen the TV show, but it still hurts. Hearing you say those dirty, dirty bastard words.
Marco fucking sucks.
Jared, I swear to God.
I got my next tattoo figured out.
I put that.
Marco fucking sucks across my chest.
How dare you? Cassie's the one who sucks.
No, Cassie's great. She's got the best hair.
That's accurate. Especially they didn't set the bar very high in this
Oh.
goddamn show.
Didn't.
Anyway, so they're like, well, I guess this disc is worthless. Let's do something else now.
Oh, but then Marco looks at Tom as he leaves the room.
Yeah, and Tom scratches his ear, so he decides to suspect that Tom is a Yeerk. And later, and then later when he has real evidence, Tom has left the basketball, his basketball team, where he was all state, all star. He was a big fucking deal.
Being scouted, because Jake asked, are there going to be scouts at this game?
And he's like, nah, quit,
He says,
bro.
nah, fam, I'm going to a club, a local community group where there's women. So,
Gonna pick
bye.
up Goyles. Marco, wanna come? You little slut.
And I don't get this. Like, his older brother is asking his younger brother to come to this club, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you should come check out this club.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah,
Come on down, cruise for poon.
we can both take home girls and bang them across the hall from each other."
Leave the door
come
open,
on.
and then send him
They're
to the
still
other
kids.
Ugh, God.
Is that what being a brother is like? All of you have brothers,
The
right?
share,
Nope.
you see, the reason the sharing is so popular is because, like, to kids, it's just like, let's hang out, let's play basketball. But adults, it's a swingers club.
It's the share.
Yep.
And it's just Mr. 3 morphing different women.
They're just,
Oh my God.
they walk in, and there's like this glass bowl with like 3 sets of keys in it, and all the kids are just like, "What's this? This is weird."
Speaking of, I just had vivid memories of the Grinch live action movie where they're having a swingers club.
They're having a fucking key party.
Yeah, baby.
That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff, baby.
Yeah.
Thinking of Jim Carrey, just in, like, full makeup that he had to go through FBI anti-torture sessions to get on, just straight up giving it to some who's. That's what I'm about.
To the old lady who
The ones who raised him, they're
Yep.
his moms. There was lesbian moms who throw key parties. Anyway.
So Animorphs.
Animorphs. Stay tuned. This is our May Christmas special.
They suspect Tom is a controller, and later when they're at school, they confirm this when they start spying on Chapman because they know he's a controller, and he goes on about how he's a controller with like students that are controllers, and when they follow him into a closet, he hangs out with Tom and talks about needing Kandrona rays and the details of the Yeerk pool, which they haven't said yet. And they establish, we're going to go there tonight, and we're going to bring a bunch of people, and it'll be a perfect time for any bandits or, like, guerrilla fighters to fuck us up. So they're like...
Those kids are,
yeah.
like, pretty fucking scary kids, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Very scary.
Because they're like standing there and they're like, yes, the Visser has ordered it. And it's like, dog, you're like 8 years old. What is this?
Hey, can I add that Chapman is discussing this alien business in the middle of the hallway on like a Wednesday?
Super obvious. It's really...
Because like
The
Marco and
subterfuge
Jake
is
happen
not
to
at
be
all
in
in
the
the
like
show.
the lab beside it, and they hear people talking, so they go to the door, and he's just like, "Yo, so what's up with Visser, man? Like, this is crazy."
And
Have they
this...
found the Andalite bandits?
Hey, does anybody know what an Andalite is? Nah, none of these suckers are in on it. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
why don't you just put it on the freaking intercom, you
I mean,
jackass?
there's one shot as they're walking down the hallway where you see these kids are like hanging up a poster for the sharing or something, and it's just like, God, everything is just so heavy-handed. It's
And
like
the
a
sharing-
Blade
Yeah.
movie.
And can I add, the sharing confuses me. What exactly is this place?
Yeah. Good question.
It's just like a youth group. They get together and like they hang out they have barbecues and
I think that what's it? They played a ski trip or something.
Yeah.
But then
It feels like a church. Like, have you ever seen those youth churches that are like non-denominational
Yeah.
and they're like, let's just sing songs and shit?
It's like
and
that, but not religious.
Oh,
And
man.
then, like, but the way that Tom makes it sound is it's like this fucking nightclub for kids. And it's like, yo, let's get ripped
a
on some
nightclub
Capri
that
Suns.
closes at 7. So the kids
Okay.
Night.
So they find out about the Yeerk pool. They find out Tom's a controller.
Chapman picks up a lizard by his tail, which is like animal abuse. Nickelodeon, you can't do that to a lizard.
True, actually.
Yeah.
And the lizard rips itself in half to get away.
It's pretty nasty and I loved it.
It's because you're a nasty boy, Brady.
That's the shit I'm into. Cannibal Holocaust. I watched it just for the dying animal.
Oh my god. Come on.
Why'd you bring up Cannibal Holocaust?
Oh, now I'm sad.
Y'all,
God
this
damn it.
it's a real podcast now. We've brought up Cannibal Holocaust.
Ugh.
I don't even want to know.
Okay.
Okay, keep going. They go to the zoo.
So they go to the zoo where Cassie's mom and presumably dad
Cassie doesn't have a dad yet. We haven't seen him at all.
Yeah. Cassie was conjured into the ether from her mother's vagina, but not necessarily inside of it.
Wonder Woman!
Jesus.
You would like Cassie's dad, babe. He makes chili. He makes very spicy chili.
I like it.
Wait a minute. You would like Cassie's dad like a buddy? Like a friend?
Oh, yeah.
Are you disassociating into, like, the Animorphs reality now? Have we... Oh, shit, Mikhail, I think we
It's been
finally
like this for months, guys.
I think we finally broke her with all our shit-talking.
It was a weird way of wording it. It's like, hey, I have these, like, 5 friends. They're, like, pretty weird. Like, we should hang out with them.
Okay, but for real, when I see, like, 5 seagulls sitting on a telephone wire, I, like, send them thought speak messages being like, hey, guys, I'm in. I know about it, and I'm not a Yeerk.
Yeah.
I read your books.
You can trust me.
So they go to the zoo, and they get what we traditionally recognize as their battle morphs, except, I don't know.
Not really,
Remind me quick. They have a tiger, but it's a white tiger.
It's the wrong one. Yeah, it's the wrong one.
Tiger, yeah.
It's a better one. It's a better one. 90s kids were all about those white tigers.
Oh,
hell
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Rachel
lion.
gets a lion, which is not in the books at all. Also, pretty funny because there's a shot. Okay, there's like this really long scene where Jake very carefully touches this very real,
very dangerous
tiger,
animal,
and then they cut to Rachel, and she's just like a smash cut where she's walking out of the lion's cage. She's like, "Well, that was easy."
It looks like she just walked in, like punched this lion in the mouth, turned around and walked out.
I mean, that's
I got it, bro. What up?
That's a very Rachel thing to do.
Like a tiger, you could get close to it, and a human could get close to it and touch it in real life if it's fed and like kept around people naturally. Lions, that shit is just turned up to 10. They are territorial motherfuckers, and just like they are harder to get that close to.
I mean, so are tigers.
And like she turned around. She gave
she
her back to that
back
lion.
to the lion.
I think it was like a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
it
think
did
it was-
not look like a real lion
No,
because it's
not at
just
all.
standing there,
Yeah.
not moving. Like maybe it was even just a prop, like this wooden
A big
lion
stuffed
figure
lion.
they put in. There is a really cute scene though where like as they're getting up to the zoo, Jake's like, "Okay, I'm gonna boost you," or like,
Oh,
"Boost me."
yeah,
Like,
this
we're
is what
gonna
I was talking
climb
about.
over this fence,
Bros.
and Marco's like, "Hey, I don't want to climb over the fence. My windbreaker is like extra large."
That's barbed wire, muchacho.
Why are you making him sound French Canadian?
He's not actually Mexican. He's just a tan French Canadian kid.
And then Cassie is like, guys, I have the keys, you idiots. And they're already on the other side. And then Jake and Marco just pause. And then Marco's like, my bad, bro. And they do a fist bump. And it's
awesome.
adorable.
Muchachos, hey there.
It's very good.
It's fucking beautiful.
Oh, and there is a very short scene earlier in this episode where Tobias and Rachel are talking together and chatting and standing on Rachel's lawn, and then Rachel's sister takes a photo of them. I got a photo of you and your new boyfriend!
Yeah.
And Tobias has this shy little smile that melts my heart.
I thought Tobias was just gonna be like, oh, he said boyfriend. We should probably just bang right here on the lawn.
Well, she clearly wants to because she's
Right?
like, she looks at him and she's like, oh, hi, Tobias.
Oh, I guess we are now.
You heard the girl.
Zip.
Her word is law.
Gross.
Well, now they've got their battle morphs, so now they're gonna sneak into the school at night.
That was it.
Which is like, Yeerks, why would you make the entrance to your Yeerk pool at night? Because that's not suspicious to see a bunch of people go into the school at night.
As the theme song of Animorphs plays on the loudspeakers. It's all in your hair.
Wait a minute, was that? Holy shit, I didn't notice that.
It didn't
Yeah.
sound, it wasn't like a post thing, like a background song. They were actually playing the music.
Oh
Like,
my god.
Yeerks are just drama
I don't think
queens.
that was actually true. I think that was just like the soundtrack was
No.
like that. I'm just being
No, but I want to
to
believe it now. That was their theme music as everyone's like drones in a straight line with this suspiciously large gap in the middle of their ant-like marching so that the kids can slip in and nobody says anything.
I thought it was supposed to be like the end of a meeting of the sharing. No?
I don't know. Like, again, the sharing confuses me. I don't know what this is doing.
It looks like they're just going down for the feeding. But they're marching in a straight line, really, which is like, okay, this is not what Yeerks are about. Yeerks are all about, you don't know who is controlling who because they slip right into your regular life and anybody could be a controller. The Yeerks in this TV show are so obviously Yeerks. Like, they scratch their ears.
The TV show is like really bad at explaining why certain things would be. It's clearly like some producer who either never read the books or couldn't give a shit and was like, nah, kids need to make some like Hitler imagery on this so people know that it's like bad.
Yeah, basically.
Couldn't do that with modern kids. They keep on falling for Nazi shit. But Tessa, an interesting point you made there was like, you could spot a controller, they scratch their ears. That's both times that we found out that humans are actually controllers are because of weird scratching. The weird scratching. Is that a side effect of Yeerkdom now? Just odd timed scratches.
They're just not used to having skin that's not covered in sludge because they're slugs, right? So then they get into a human body and they're like, holy shit, I can see. Holy shit, I can smell. Holy shit, I have skin that gets this weird feeling that's itchy. So I feel like Yeerks are just always feel itchy because they're not used to how their skin feels on their meat bodies.
It sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole what link the Yeerk bath has to this weird communal bath has to the sharing. Yeah. Or if there is anything, or if it's just a convenience and excuse to like kind of have the two.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
They do a bad job explaining stuff in the TV show, but isn't that always the way?
Well, it's not. The sharing doesn't come to the bath. This is entirely a Yeerk thing. This is the secret place that the Yeerks go to. The sharing is for recruiting
well, no, because Brayden, they explain at one point that like, look, because every 3 days the Yeerks have to feed in the pool.
Yes. And
guess what? There's a meeting of the sharing every 3 days minimum. Right. So they do use it as an excuse to go feed, essentially. But at least that was my understanding.
I thought they did that afterwards.
My understanding from the books is that the sharing is a front to like, here, meet new people. We're nice guys. Come and join us. And as we get into it a little bit in like episode 4, once you become a full member, you will get like other benefits. One of those benefits is they're going to Yeerk you in the ear.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, hey, come here. Let's play ping pong. We'll go on a ski trip. Hold this slug for a minute.
Use your ear. It's warm.
Feels nice on your brain. Anyway, so we're almost done with episode 3. They sneak in. The two kids who, because only 2 of them morphed any kind of battle morph. They only acquired 2 battle morphs. Like, what the fuck?
Well, because Tobias has like his hawk, and apparently that's all he needs.
Yeah, and I guess Cassie and Marco don't need anything. Yeah,
they're useless. So they morph the big cats and like knock some people over, and nothing happens. And Jake morphs the lizard and escapes.
I got really confused here because Cassie goes up and she's like, "Oh shit, okay," and she has to do a thing where she turns her head and the Yeerk pops out. And they're like, "Oh no, she's gonna get caught." But then she figures out a way not to get caught, but they still change and fuck shit up.
Yeah, I mean, because they wanted to fuck shit up because they want to hurt the Yeerks. That's why they sneak down there. But then somehow Cassie got into the wrong line, I guess, to like...
It's sad that that's a plot point.
I know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because why aren't the other kids in this line? The other kids are watching this happen, and they can't do anything.
And like Cassie...
Well, you need to pad out that absolutely gigantic 15-minute runtime.
That's true. It's true. It's not like they have plot they could put in there instead.
Yeah, it's not like there's like 60 some odd books they can draw from or anything.
Which is something I've meant to talk about. This disc that they have. They mention it quickly in this episode, like, hey, don't leave it in your room for Tom, who's a controller. And Jake is like, yeah, I got it on me at all times now. This disc is not in the books.
No.
I just want to state it right now. Later on in the series, it's going to be used for a large info dump of stuff that they just didn't have time for that was already in the books.
That's a prediction?
Yeah, stuff that's already, maybe that I don't even know about now, because I can't really particularly think of any weird, crazy secrets that they know about. Maybe stuff that happens in the Megamorphs books will be, that they learn in Megamorphs books will be info dumped in this.
Elfanger put on a CD-ROM and it's just Dino Park Tycoon.
Or the Dork-Bajir Chronicles, or the Animorphs Chronicle, or Andalite Chronicles. Other books, stuff that happens in those that's important will be explained on the disc. That's my suspicion for what this thing is.
Huh. I honestly don't remember. When I watched the TV show, I rented the VHS from the library, and it only had the first 3 episodes on it. So I've only ever seen the first 3 episodes. And, I remember a little bit of another episode, which is the book The Reaction, a little part of that. I remember a little bit about when they go to get Axe, and they turn into butterflies and fly away. But all I really remember from watching is these first 3 episodes. So, I have no idea what's on the disc. Anyway, they escape the Yeerk pool. They're like, hey, that was really great. We did a good job. Thank you, Tobias, for being a bird and saving us, as they look up to this crow that's on the streetlight.
And Visser 3 never, ever jumps in, except to the very end, where a big, goofy, foamy-looking claw grabs Chapman around his neck as he says, I did my best! I did my best!
At one point, when the kids turn into, lions and tigers, oh my, they unlock these, cages.
Yeah, laser cages.
Are being in, the laser cages, and all of these humans just run over a Dork-Bajir.
Yeah.
As if that would happen in real life. Excuse me. Dork-Bajir.
Real life.
Well, I mean, did you see that full body shot? They could just, run into its it had no knees.
That's true. It's got spindly little legs with no knees.
No center of gravity.
I forgot that Visser 3 was in this scene, but they didn't animate Visser 3 again, so it's the exact same shots from the first episode where you see Visser 3.
Of him moving his head up and down, very slightly, and his stalk eyes, squint.
But there's also, one point when they get to the bottom of the stairs, and they look up, and they see, it looks like a sort of balcony that Visser 3's on. But it's just a balcony with a green screen there that is showing the exact scene from the first episode.
Yep.
I think it's because they, rented that costume. They didn't buy it or make it.
No,
It's a rental.
It's actually a bootleg. Somebody, an entrepreneur somewhere in New York. You know that episode of Friends where Ross wants to get a Santa costume but can only get an armadillo costume?
Yep.
The Dork-Bajir and the Visser 3's hentai fuck beast morph are actually just slightly edited Hanukkah armadillos.
Hanukkah armadillos.
Okay, so episode 3 ends, and the kids find out that this crow isn't Tobias because it flies away, and they wander down a neighborhood street just yelling Tobias. End of episode.
End.
Yeah.
Episode 4, we don't see Tobias at all in this one. It opens with Jake and Marco just hanging out at the internet cafe.
Oh, wait. Are we just jumping right into it? We don't have anything else to say about episode 4?
Let's just go on episode 4 and then talk about both episodes at once.
Okay.
I'll breeze through episode 4. So yeah, I had never seen episode 4 before, so this was really fun to watch because it was just hijinks galore, basically. And also just this batshit stuff that doesn't happen in the books, because it's actually lighthearted and weird rather than being soul sucking and horrific. So Marco is just Jake, you got the discs, right? Jake pats his jean jacket. He's like, hell yeah. When I moonshoe to the mall, I always have the discs in my pocket. And then all of the computers in the internet cafe blare up with this spinning word art that says Andalite on the side. And the main message says, Andalite, if you want your disc back, email us at yeerk@gmail.com.
It was Hotmail. Please. It was Hotmail.
Was it actually Hotmail?
I have no idea. It was probably a Yahoo address.
Oh my gosh, no, it was Yeerks@askjeeves.com. And it's
if you want the disc back, check out my MySpace page.
Like, the Yeerks must have spent so much 1990s era money on animating the spinning words in the corner. And Marco and Jake squabble a bit. Marco thinks he shouldn't email them. And Jake is like, no, I'm going to email them. We need those discs back. So he emails them, meet me at the mall. They come up with a quick plan. So Jake morphs Iguana. Marco puts him in the pet store and then goes and acquires a security guard. Thank you. We need more mall cops. Tries to morph the security guard.
Interaction in the whole fucking series.
It doesn't work for some reason, and they don't explain why it doesn't work, but it doesn't work. So this guy with a 5-foot neck walks into the pet shop and like glares at a bunny rabbit and says, "Andalite, is that you?" And like glares and yells at all of the animals.
It just looks like this crazy dude wandering around a pet store. Are you an Andalite?
Bro, when was the last time you drank water? Are you roid raging?
Like, this is a man who cannot look over his shoulder because his neck is too beefy.
Yeah.
So Jake talks to him in thought speak, and then you also hear him be like, Marco, where the fuck are you? Because YTV was able to use fuck once a season in their TV shows, and this is the one episode they used it in.
Yeah.
He's like, where the fuck are you, Marco? He's like, okay, controller, I'm over here. I'm the parrot. Put the disc on top of the iguana cage and I'll go with you quietly. And then the controller puts the disc on the iguana cage and interrogates the parrot and tries to like yell at it. Marco comes into the pet store as his regular self, scoops up Jake and the disc, and they see the controller like get bit by this bird, and the shop owner finally gets off of his like smoke break and comes back and be like, "Yo, dude, what do you want? Why are you harassing my animals?"
He's like, "Quit fucking with my parrot, man. Goddamn."
And he's like, "Oh, I want to buy this parrot." The guy's like, "It's not for sale." He's like, "Well, make it for sale." And Marco escapes. He's got Jake in his pocket. He's got the disc in his pocket. Marco's feeling great. The security guard catches him and says, "You're under arrest for shoplifting a lizard." He's like, "I didn't shoplift a lizard." And then the security guard points to the lizard sticking out of the pocket. And Marco's like, "Okay, you mean that lizard." And there's that classic Marco wit, like, who... Boys got jokes galore. So there's a chase scene in the mall. In a matter of 5 seconds, Jake morphs human and Marco morphs rat and eats sunflower seeds in his pocket. And then finally they're both human again as the security guard goes away, and they're looking for the disc because Marco put it down in a bag next to a trash can, which of course got cleaned up and thrown out. So they have to go dumpster diving, and so Marco's in this dumpster and it's full of like garbage bags and shredded paper.
No actual mall garbage.
It's a mall. Like, what mall store is throwing out shredded paper?
Hey, man. Can't get rid of those sensitive documents.
So Jake is, like, really hungry, so he goes to get food. Marco gets scooped up by a garbage truck, and the dumpster gets dumped into the garbage truck, because of course it does. Jake comes back, notices that the dumpster is empty, notices the truck driving away, morphs Tiger for whatever. Like, you run faster than a tiger, Jake.
No, he morphs to Homer.
Does he morph Homer?
Yeah, he morphs Homer.
Okay. I thought he morphed a tiger. Anyway, it's like, you run faster than the dog. We've established this in episode 1. Just run after the truck.
At very least, you could just marathon it and run to wherever that dump is.
So that's the A plot. The B plot is that Cassie and Rachel are hanging out, and then Rachel's friend Melissa is going to go to a meeting of the sharing and really wants Rachel to come with her. And Cassie acts like a total bitch, and it's like, no, we're not interested. And then Rachel's like, okay, fine, I'll go with you, Melissa, because you clearly need somebody to be with you right now. And so Cassie's like, okay, fine, I'll go. Rachel morphs a fly, and she infiltrates this top secret sharing meeting that only full members get to be a part of. Everybody else gets to sit in this doctor-like waiting room and stare at a fish tank.
And play ping pong.
Mm-hmm. There's no barbecue.
Dare forget the ping pong.
90s was all about that pong, bruh.
All about pong.
One of the controllers in the high profile area smacks a fly and, oh no, you think it's Rachel. No, Rachel demorphs. She comes back, meets up with Cassie, and they peace out. But Tom stops and is like, okay, if only we could get my idiot brother to join us, this would be great. And Rachel really awkwardly says, okay, well, we'll see you, cuz. Short for cousin, because you and I are related. And it's like, good exposition there.
Holy shit, they are related. I remember you telling me about that, but they never actually say that until cuz.
Until cuz in episode 4.
The most glossed over
I think
line.
I think she calls Jake cuz again in episode 1 when she comes up and meets him at the very beginning. She's like, "Hey there, cousin."
Oh,
Because that's what you say to your family.
So it's not just awkward sexual tension I'm feeling there?
No.
Okay.
No, there's a reason for the sexual tension.
Oh,
They're
gross.
cousins. So they meet up in the internet cafe with the boys who have the disc, and the girls are like, "What smells like garbage?" And Marco's like,
Us.
"Don't ask, muchachos." And they they pick up the disc, and Rachel's like, "No, this disc is heavier than normal." Smash cut, we see driving in a truck this woman with like the shittiest expression on her face, like she's so pleased with herself. And then there's this other weird little guy that would not be out of place in an episode of Community where like everyone was picking on him, and they're watching a hologram of the exact same animation of Visser 3 squinting his eyes and wiggling his eye stalks, and they're being like, "Oh, the disc is on its way back to the mall. We will catch them
They
easily."
just look like a mom and somebody's shitty mom and dad, which is like, I think the TV show has really ruined human controllers for me. Because like whenever I've imagined like a bunch of human controllers came at us, I always thought of like some essentially like agents, just like dudes in suits. They got sunglasses on. They're packing AKs or like mini Uzis. But now I realize, oh, it's probably just like somebody's mom wanted to join a club
just
because
regular
like
people.
they had empty nest syndrome. Probably wears a floral shirt.
There's one book where there's a grandma that comes in.
Yeah.
I think it was book 10, but there's another grandma that comes in like book 43 or something.
I'm gonna whip your bitch ass, Andalite.
So then there's a bunch of shots of these Yeerk controllers like power walking through the mall, just like on their way to the food court. They got a little device going beep, beep, beep on their way to the disc.
That looks way too much like a gun to be wandering around a mall with.
Right. I mean, it was the 90s.
Everybody had a gun in the mall.
It's fine. It's not dangerous yet. And then Rachel holds the disc before they try it in the computer at the internet cafe, because for some reason those computers are definitely going to work with your alien disc, whereas your home computers didn't. But Rachel's like, "No, this disc is heavier." And they're like, "Oh shit, we're idiots. They probably bugged the disc." So they come up with a great plan. The Yeerks find the signal. It's going up. No, wait, it's going down. It's right here. It's in an elevator. Bing! Elevator doors open. There's a cutout of an alien, and the disc is taped to the alien.
Yeah, it's really fucking dumb.
And the Yeerks are like so pissed off, they just leave it there and just walk away. And the kids are watching this from the second floor. Like, hide, kids! They're gonna notice you!
Yeah.
So then the kids walk home, and they're just like,
really bad.
"Oh, we have you boys made a terrible plan. We girls had a much better plan." And nobody is talking about how they haven't seen Tobias in days.
Because let's face it, does anybody actually give a shit?
Rachel does.
They keep showing shots of like a bird's eye view perspective of like watching them do shit. Remember?
Dun, dun.
Oh yeah, I guess they did, didn't they?
Yeah, it's because he's
What
stuck,
could it
or like
be?
he's like obsessed with being a bird.
Or he can no longer not be a bird.
Spoilers.
Okay, yeah. Wait a minute.
We
Wait a
don't
minute.
know.
Okay.
He's already trapped in Birdmorph right now, and he's taken full. See, okay, a difference between book Tobias and TV show Tobias. Book Tobias was immediately a little bit regretful about being trapped as a bird, and went to all his friends and said, like, "This is the sitch." TV show Tobias, this isn't canon, but like it's the only way to read it. As soon as he was trapped in Birdmorph, he was like, "Oh no, I'm a bird forever. I gotta go fuck some birds." And wasting no time. Like that'll be his first lines when he's back. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm a bird forever." And they're like, "Oh no, what do we do now? Why did it take you so long to get back?" He won't even be embarrassed. He's just like, "I am so sorry. You realize I had to take this opportunity to fuck birds. They are the sexiest animal."
It's true.
That's true. And Jared, you haven't read the books, but in the first book after Tobias gets stuck as a bird, he tries to kill himself because Animorphs is fucking dark
I
as
remember
shit.
him getting stuck as a bird. I didn't know he tried to fucking kill himself.
Book
Yeah, he
3,
does.
it's a little bit after. Like the end of book 1, he shows up at Jake's house and is like, "Yo, I fucked up. I'm stuck as a bird." Yeah, and then book 3, he like tries to commit suicide by flying into we're estimating like 5 foot thick glass ceiling of a mall,
Which
but Marco breaks it with a baseball.
fucking someone was arguing with me. My boy Drake, you know who you are. If you ever listen to this, telling me that it would be easy to throw a baseball through a mall window. You know what?
It was the roof. It wasn't just a window. It was a skylight.
Yeah. You know what? That's made out of plexiglass. Like, it's not even regular glass.
Yeah.
It's plexiglass.
It's a plexiglass ceiling.
Like, a glass ceiling would just break with, like, the very first snow or rainfall. The first slightly heavy...
I will send a free Animorphs Dork-Bajir fucking t-shirt to the first person who sends me a goddamn video of themselves throwing a baseball through a plexiglass window from like at least 50 feet away.
But only if you're a Hispanic 13-year-old. We gotta make this scientific. We will send $1,000 to the first Hispanic 13-year-old who throws a baseball through plexiglass and sends it to
Brayden
us.
will send $1,000. I'll send the t-shirt.
Yeah, I'll design the t-shirt. That'll be my contribution.
I'll spit on that t-shirt.
I'll just wear it.
Yeah, for a day.
Oh my god, I forgot this bit. So in episode 3, they're like in the Yeerk pool, and the kids are watching Cassie as she gets shunted to the wrong line and has to pretend there's a Yeerk in her head. And this like Russian guy comes up to them and it's like, "Hey, you shitty kids, what are you doing? You're looking suspicious. And you should do this thing." And Tobias stands up to him and says, "We were sent here by Visser 3.
We answered directly to Visser 3, and I'm like, when did Tobias grow these nuts?
Like, he's always had them.
Damn, son.
Oh, that's also just shortly before that is the Mr. 3 point where they're all in line and Visser 3 is like, "Okay, make sure everybody gets their nice Candrona meals. I will be in my chambers." And then he disappears for the rest of the episode, and you hear someone on the ground level yell, "Yes, Mr. 3.
Hilarious.
They could only afford one take.
Yep.
Okay, close enough.
They actually it was a cameo from very famous 90s celebrity Alec Baldwin, and they could not, for the life of them, afford more time with him.
Yep.
Okay. I have an issue with the story also, just from like, regardless of the books. Didn't they think that like if the Yeerks were willing to give the disc back, that clearly the disc is 100% worthless to them?
Like, you think they would think
I
that?
was wondering that, because I'm like, why didn't they take that disc?
Like,
when they like stuck it in the cutout.
Yeah. Obviously.
I don't know, because they realized
were like, "Oh, those rascally kids," and they walked away.
Like, in the book, in the first book, Tobias hangs back and Elthanger, like, touches his head and sends him some information. So that way Tobias knows about the Candrona rays and a little bit. So they could have easily done that. Instead, they have all this disc bullshit, which makes me think that episode 5 is going to be more shenanigans to try and get this disc back.
Yeah.
Except I don't think they really lost it. Like, it's still probably in that fucking elevator.
I mean, no, because that's the fake disc. That's too heavy, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the real disc is just in Jake's other jean jacket. We know he has more than one.
It is the 90s.
But
that was like, you needed at least 3 jean jackets. Otherwise, you're just worthless.
You died.
Otherwise, you had to skip to 2008.
It was punishable by lethal injection.
Of Yeerk.
Oh,
the acting in this show is so bad, though. Oh, man.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, nobody's good in this show.
No.
It's all bad.
Nobody. Like, it's not be like, "Oh, yeah, everyone's really bad," but this dude, like, he's good, so it kind of elevates everything. It's like, no, everybody is the same level of fucking miserable.
Yeah. I can't wait till the last episode where they just like, we're not going to make this show anymore. Let's just wrap it up. And they all get guns and just kill all the Andalites with guns. Or they kill all the Yeerks with guns.
I like to think they don't even, like, try and figure out how to get the Yeerks out of their head. They're just like, let God sort them out. And just blow all their brains out.
No!
They did it on April 9th. They aired that episode on April 19th, 1993. One day before Columbine.
Do you want to know the name of the guy who plays Mr. 3? His voice? Eugene Lipinski, which is the least intimidating name I think I've ever heard.
Whoa.
That's like the best combination of first and last names.
My name's Eugene Lipinski, but you might know me as Visser 3.
Yeah.
Mr.
Andalite bandits.
Auditioning for Visser 3.
Holy shit.
You.
The anti-Semitism on display here is staggering.
Right?
Okay. Also, Tom's actor's name is Joshua Peace, like Peace, which is a pretty cool last name.
Huh,
Not that that's
cool.
really interesting at all, but
I'm glad you thought it was, Michaela. That's all that matters.
yeah.
Um,
These shows are just like
Draining. It's like, we've
it's
seen
so
all this
hard
already, and way more entertainingly, though.
and it's so hard to like piece it together because I did watch it a few weeks ago, but at the same time, it's like
It doesn't make
shows-
sense. Like, it doesn't explain itself. It's almost like it expects you to read the book to understand the fiction.
It both expects you to know everything about the series, but then know absolutely nothing about
So
the
like, you
series.
have to know, like, be told about the Yeerks twice in the first episode.
But also, like, even if you knew the books, it's like they don't stick to the books, so what does it matter, right?
Also, there's this one part where they're like, I think they're morphing or it's background music. My notes here just say, please bring back the synth. These breath noises are not good.
The breath noises.
And I think it was like, I think it might have been like background music when they're walking in a line or when they're morphing in the Yeerk pool in episode 3. And you just hear like breathing instead of like the synth.
Oh.
And it's like, bring back the synth. Come on.
Right? Oy.
It's all in your head.
It's all
You've also
in your
written here,
head.
Tessa, that dumpster bit, I swan to John, and I'm not really
swan
sure
to
what
John.
I
what that means.
swing the game.
You know, like how you swear to God? Well,
You swan to
sometimes you
John.
also swan to John.
Oh, shit.
That dumpster
didn't know
bit,
that.
I swan to John.
And also, they never, like, they raise the stakes really high. They're like, holy shit, fucking Marco's gonna get crushed in this dumpster.
shit.
In this garbage truck. And then it's just like, nah, I'm fine. I just kind of stink.
It's a goofy bit. It's not scary at all. Last episode, we were running for our life. In this one, I'm
Kids
just a little
die
sneaky.
like every 2 hours from jumping in the back of dumpsters because they like see protagonists on TV shows survive.
Or like the idea of jumping from a bridge onto a boat.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
like, that would probably fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Like, let's get
Okay.
real.
Also, episode 4 didn't have a narrator like episodes 1, 2, and 3 did.
They
No,
gave up.
because like you said, it was all just hijinks. This has nothing to do with the books. I think they like the one thing they got from maybe the one dude on set who read the books was like, oh hey, there's a narrator in each of these books, and they're like, fuck, all right, Sean, go do voiceovers for like 8 minutes, but don't actually put any effort into it because we can't pay you. And then like this one, they're like, oh hey, this is just hijinks and shit. Nobody's gonna care.
You know what? I'm going back, like thinking back on it. Episode 1, I think that was just Sean Ashmore's like improv audition tape. He wanted to be like, "Okay, I get this. I got this. I can improvise."
Maybe he made the show and he was
Yeah.
like, fucking no one's going to understand what's going on.
He's like, "I have to have this."
He
so
just
people know what's
sent
up.
it to the production. They were like, guys, this doesn't make any sense. Can you put this ahead of
Yeah.
him so we'll know what's happening?
It was actually
I've forgotten what happened.
it was invented. It was made 20-some. That was actually shot just like on his lunch break of the X-Men movies. And they were just like, "Hey, we're looking to redistribute the Animorphs TV show."
I
Here's
want to see
some
it because, like,
pickups.
honestly, he makes appearances at Comic-Con every once in a while, at both the Edmonton and the Calgary ones on occasion.
Really?
So I want to, like, if you guys could find something, like, some sort of Animorphs TV show memorabilia.
Oh, well, I don't think we could make it to either of those cities because we
Yeah.
don't live near there.
No, I don't know those cities.
Yeah, is that in
I think-
Mexico?
You guys,
It's in the world.
I think it's in Canada. I think Jared might be Canadese.
fuck it.
Yeah. That's
Like
where
a
they make all those
Canadian
TV
nuts.
shows because they charge. That's where they make all those TV shows because they give you a bunch of tax breaks.
Oh, right, there's a location redacted thing. That's where this is going, isn't it?
And the weather is nice in Vancouver,
Yeah.
which is why they film 90% of movies there.
They film TV shows in Vancouver. They film movies in Ontario.
I will fight you about that because it's definitely Vancouver like most of the time.
They film movies and TV shows in Vancouver, but they do film TV shows in Ontario, in Toronto.
Jared, can you back me up on this, that they've
I
never
can.
filmed a single TV show or movie anywhere in the vicinity of Ontario?
I don't think Ontario even knows what television
I
is.
went to film school.
Ontario is actually entirely owned by Hutterite colonies.
But they got some mean pies, man.
Fuck yeah.
Anyways, it's funny because like despite being these TV shows being like the object of such mockery, it almost feels like tiresome making fun of them.
There's so much to do. Like, there's so many things we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Just because it's all so
Like,
bad.
the whole setup of this internet cafe, it just looks like a set. Like, it looks like it's part of a high school play. It's like a bad set.
It definitely looks like it was shot in a computer lab in their local high school.
Like, it does not look like it's lived in at all.
Nope, definitely not.
It's built just for the TV show.
Is terrible.
Everything.
About this. Yeah.
It's true. And I like to think, I have the thought in my head of maybe these get better. I know they don't.
No, they don't. No, I'm pretty sure they don't. I've seen a spattering of them here or there, like as I do my research, and it's like, and I've read a lot of the Wikipedia stuff, and it's like, holy fuck, none of it ever like lines up with the books or ever makes sense.
But, I mean, you gotta tune in next week, listeners, for you to really find out if the episodes get better or not.
Yeah.
That's true, because next week we'll be talking again with Jared about episodes 5 and 6. Yeah.
I
Which
mean,
is like,
the podcast episodes will get better.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. The TV show.
The TV shows
the
still
podcast
say
episodes
abysmal.
might not get better. Let's be real about what we can do. Also, yeah, like I'd never seen episode 4 before, so going forward, I'm going in blind as you guys.
Yeah.
Now I'm
shit.
a newbie too.
We're all newbies now.
We're all newbies here. You got that.
God.
We're all newbies here.
Also, shout out to whoever the hell wrote and performed that fucking intro.
I
Tessa's
love
going to
it.
be singing this for the next 40 years, and I'm going to
so
hurt
into
myself.
It. I love it. Can we play it at our wedding?
No.
Can we dance to it?
Absolutely
no time
not.
To try.
Oh.
Don't better run, don't better trust.
Anyways,
I can't say any more than what I've already said.
I feel like Marco should change his hair in every episode, though, and just have it become more and more spider-like.
I feel like we should find the dude who played Marco and just pin him down and shave his head today, just to be like, this makes up for it.
20 years!
you mean
I did my
Boris
time.
Cabrera?
Yeah, we should find Boris Carrera.
And smooch him.
Okay.
Well.
No. You'd be like, your character sucked, and shave his head.
He's not a child anymore.
I don't care. Then it's not technically illegal. We're just assholes.
He is now a personal fitness trainer.
It's only illegal to shave
Yeah,
children's
exactly.
heads.
It's like worst case scenario. We get like a minor assault charge. That's it.
Oh, he was an actor in a bunch of stuff.
Welcome to Animorphs, where we talk about crimes we can't get away with now.
That's the whole show.
We're completely innocent. This isn't even my real name.
Jared, where can we find you online?
You can find me on collectivelegacy.org, along with the fine Fanmorphs podcast and a couple other ones we have on there. I'm also on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you really get your podcasts. You can probably find me there. Working on Google Play right now. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. 2 Nerds in the Basement across the board there. Feel free to listen to a couple of the episodes we have out, or send me a message on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or something along those lines. And
I'm so excited for when we watch X-Men Origins Wolverine, because that movie is so good.
I quit.
Okay.
I quit.
Tessa, where's our stuff?
Yeah, if you want to find our stuff, I mean, we're also on collectivelegacy.org, and we've got Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram and Facebook, and we are the ones who make the Animorphs memes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all of them.
we're like the reason the fandom is still alive, I think.
We.
Is that too presumptuous to say?
That's
no, I
pretty
think
Yeah, that's pretty
presumptuous.
I think
presumptuous.
it's perfectly...
But I mean, if anybody wants to fight us on it, they can fucking come to us, and I'll kill them myself.
We get away with crimes all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Here in Canada, fuck.
Location redacted.
Here in location redacted, we have no law.
We're in the middle of the ocean. We're at sea law right now.
How do you think they get away with all the hentai fuck beast jokes?
Yeah.
We're in international
That's right,
waters,
it is.
man.
Yeah, man. This is pirate radio.
A prime minister like Justin Trudeau would arrest us for that shit.
Well, and all the mean stuff we said about Mexicans.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Brayden,
okay.
where can people subscribe to our show?
Well, we are available on collectivelegacy.com.
Nope.
.org.
Yes, .org. We are available on collectivelegacy.org and iTunes and anywhere else fine podcasts are distributed.
And you know what? We never said it before, but y'all can pop down a review. I mean, our website has comment sections. There's also reviews you can do on Google Play and iTunes. And I don't think Spotify has a review section yet, but
Please send us a review because, like, so far the only reviews we've gotten are for, like, penis enlargement pills by people who also like animals.
And that's mostly just on my show.
Yeah. Pills for enlarging animals' penises.
Which, like, we've talked about enough on Live from the Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have brought it on yourself, is what you're saying. You're getting the exact feedback you're looking for.
Are you shaming us?
Yeah, a little bit.
for the Animorphs, my name is Mikhail, the host.
I'm Tessa, the expert.
And I'm Brayden, a man who would never kink shame.
And I'm Jared, I'm just a guest here.
And this has been Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. If you're looking for more Animorphs content, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search for Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles.
Hi, hello, welcome to the ad for the show. I'm Mitch, the host of Wank Talk Radio. On this show, I talk to interesting people about interesting things. Do you need to know more than that? Okay, fine. Pretty much we'll talk about whatever my guest is interested in or passionate for. Sometimes it'll be silly, sometimes serious, sometimes a bit of both. Whatever the topic is, hopefully we'll find a way to make you that much more of an expert about it. You can find us at collectivelegacy.org, along with some other equally awesome shows on our network. New episodes of Wank Talk Radio are every Sunday and Thursday, wherever you find your podcasts. Let us know what you think on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wank Talk Radio. That's WENGH Talk Radio. Wank Talk Radio.
Brought to you by
Collective Legacy,
a podcast network.